Okay, so we're continuing with Arba'una Hadith. So yesterday we didn't actually get to finish the lesson. No, sorry, not yesterday, last lesson. We didn't get to finish it. We just went over the first 2 pages translation. We didn't get to do the exercises or any much speaking in the lesson. So we'll try and do that today, and we'll also move on to Hadith number 2 as well, Al-Hadith al-Thani. فلنبدأ إن شاء الله بالحديث الأول مرة أخرى إن شاء الله. Okay. Let's see. من حفظ الحديث من الدرس؟ هل أحد منكم حفظ الحديث؟ نعم لا. Did anyone memorize the hadith? Everyone's still there, right?
Yeah.
Okay, did anyone memorize the hadith? If you haven't, then that's fine. Just tell me you haven't. If you haven't,
لا تأكل بالشمال. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Did anyone manage to memorize it?
In English, but not in Arabic.
Okay. Yeah, so all these hadiths that come, because they're very short hadith, we should try and memorize this hadith with the narrator and with the book as well. So عن جابر رضي الله عنه قال قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تأكلوا بالشمال فإن الشيطان يأكل بالشمال رواه مسلم. It's very simple. It doesn't take that much time. But if we memorize the hadiths as we're going along, we'll have a good amount of hadith that we would have memorized by the end of the book. And there's lots of benefit in memorizing hadith, especially for Arabic students as well. Okay. So who managed to review the lesson of yesterday's last lesson and memorize the vocab, go over the sentences, etc., etc.? Did anyone manage to do that?
I mostly did. I think.
Okay, mashallah, that's one person. Anyone else?
Not all of it, but
No, to be honest, I went on to the next hadith because I didn't know how I missed it. I left at the end of the class, so I didn't quite know what was expected, what we were supposed to do. Sorry, you probably did tell everybody, but it was sort of slightly lost on me.
Okay, that's fine. But generally, just for future reference, the recordings are there, isn't it? So they're on the group, on the link, and the link is on the group. So whoever misses anything, just catch up with the recordings. Okay. Yeah, so it's very important that you guys go over the lesson. So just to make the lessons a lot more productive, because I don't want to retranslate and redo the entire lesson again. That will be very boring. So generally what needs to happen is one lesson, I'll teach the lesson. So with all the translation, the grammar, anything behind it. Next lesson, what we do is we'll practice a bit more of the speaking. So once you guys have internalized all the grammar, the sentences, the new words, the vocab, then what we'll do, make this lesson a lot more fruitful. Then we'll be able to speak a lot more. You'll be able to respond to my questions, and you'll be able to ask me, I'll be able to ask you, and you'll be able to answer in Arabic. So the lessons will be a lot more beneficial. But if that's not done, then the main part of the lesson won't actually be that beneficial, and we'll just continue the book just translating, which is quite boring. Okay, so nabda inshallah. So the purpose of this book is to obviously introduce us to the Arabic language, and it's to also to get us to speak Arabic as well. ما شاء الله أخونا أبو كاثر حاضر في الدرس ما شاء الله.
وعليكم السلام.
وعليكم السلام. لا بأس إن شاء الله. فنبدأ إن شاء الله بالكتاب 40 حديث. فهمتم؟ وأنا في الدرس أتكلم باللغة العربية إن شاء الله أحيانا، وأحيانا أتكلم باللغة الإنجليزية. هل فهمتم؟
فهمت.
أنا فهمت.
والآخرون Brother Azim, Amina, Brother Malik Zubair, هل أنتم حاضرون في الدرس أم نائمون؟ نائمون لا بأس. Okay, so what I will do, I will be speaking quite a bit of Arabic. Well, I will try to anyway, speak quite a bit of Arabic in these lessons. And the purpose of this, so that you become accustomed to listening to Arabic. And the more you listen to it, the better you'll pick up the language. فلنبدأ إن شاء الله بالكتاب. صفحة 10 من الكتاب. هل عندكم الكتاب كلكم? Do all of you have the actual book? So Brother Zim said he's still using the PDF. Adam's got it. Kauthar, you've got it. Samina?
I'm using the PDF for now. I need to get it. Inshallah.
Okay, لا بأس. Okay. سنسألكم أسئلة إن شاء الله عن الدرس. So I'm going to ask you a few questions. So let's start with Kauthar. ما ضد اليمين?
ضد اليمين هو الشمال.
نعم جيد. ضد اليمين الشمال. وما معنى الشمال كوثر in English بالإنجليزية؟
left يد, left hand.
Okay. نعم. وما معنى الشمال brother عزيم؟ ما معنى الشمال بالفتح؟ ما معنى means what is the meaning of shamal?
The meaning is the left.
Left is الشمال بالكسر. Left is الشي شمال. Okay, ما معنى الشمال بالفتح؟ شا.
I don't remember. It was...
brother Adam?
North.
نعم. معنى الشمال بالفتح north. And Adam, وما ضد الشمال?
الجنوب.
نعم. But try and answer in full sentences if you can. It will help you Arabic.
ضد الشمال الجنوب.
نعم جيد. أمينة, وما جمع الشيطان? So you respond by saying جمعه.
جمعه شياطين.
نعم جيد. Kauthar. Sorry, Brother Malik, you're in the class. Would you like me to ask you questions or would you like to observe?
Brother, observe.
لا بأس إن شاء الله. لكن لا تخف. لا تخف. Okay. Kauthar. بأي يد يأكل الشيطان؟
يأكل الشيطان بالشمال.
نعم. وآدم بأي يد نأكل؟ بأي يد نأكل؟
نأكل باليد اليمين.
ولكن لك أن تقول نأكل باليمين.
نأكل باليمين. نأكل باليمين.
نعم هذا جيد. نأكل باليمين. Let's see. Adam, how do I say كيف أقول don't drink this tea?
لا تشرب هذا الشاي.
Good. And then because it is cold.
لأنه بريد.
Yeah, بارد.
أو بارد. They're the same meaning, but it was بارد and بريد. They're different.
نعم بريد is post. بارد is cold.
Post is okay.
So مكتب بريد is the post office. مكتب بريد.
Oh, okay, right.
Okay. وأيضا يمكنك أن تقول فإنه وهذا أيضا يمكن فإنه بارد. فأتى في الدرس هذه الكلمة فإنه. Kauthar, كيف أقول don't eat the food, it is bad?
لا تأكل هذا الطعام فإنه فاسد.
نعم. So in the lesson we learned that when you say another way of saying because is say فإن. So you give the instruction and after the instruction you say فَإِنَّ and then give the reason. So in the hadith we had لَا تَأْكُلُوا بِالشِّمَالِ, do not eat with the left. Then the Prophet gives the reason, starting فَإِنَّ, because الشَّيْطَانُ يَأْكُلُ بِالشِّمَالِ, the devil eats with the left. So فَإِنَّ, we learned that as a concept. وَتَعَلَّمْنَا أيضا, we also learned صيغة الأمر والنهي. So we learned command and prohibition. So أكل يأكل means معناه to eat. أكل, he, one man ate. يأكل, he is eating. So Azim, how do I say كيف أقول don't eat?
لا تأكلوا.
نعم. What if you're speaking to one person? How would you say don't eat?
لا, I'm not sure. لا تأكلوا.
Not quite. Amina?
لا تأكل.
Good, good. لا تأكل. لا تأكل. On the pattern of على وزن لا تفعل. لا تأكل. Adam, don't sit.
لا تجلس.
Yeah. Kausar, don't write on the book.
لا تكتب على الكتاب.
Okay. إنه ليس لا تكتب على وزن لا تفعل بالسكون.
I did say سكون.
Okay. I didn't hear you then. ما سمعت. سامحنا يا شيخ. سامحنا. Okay. Yeah, لا تكتب. Okay, so these are the concepts that came in the previous lesson. So don't eat. So how do you give a prohibitive command? And we also learned the right and left, what shimal is. معنى shimal, the left hand. ومعنى shamal, the north, isn't it? Okay, good. And we also learned the concept of فَإِنَّ. فَإِنَّ means what, Amina?
Because.
Yeah, good. And وتعلمنا أيضا أن الشيطان يأكل بالشمال. So Kauthar, أذكر حديثا في آداب الأكل. فهمت؟
فهمت. أي حديث
أذكر حديثا في آداب الأكل الذي حفظته من الدرس.
هذا حديث عن جابر رضي الله عنه قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم لا تأكلوا بالشمال فإن الشيطان يأكل بالشمال.
نعم. ومن المحدث الذي أخرجه؟
جابر رضي الله.
لا، جابر هو الراوي الحديث. جابر
رواه مسلم.
نعم، جيد. المخرج للحديث مسلم، رواه مسلم. رواه في معنى أخرجه. فالمخرج أخرجه is the author who wrote it down basically in the book. So although it says rawahu, meaning narrated by Muslim, it wasn't actually narrated by Muslim. Here it means that it was actually compiled by Muslim. But the rawi al-hadith is as-sahabi. فراوي الحديث هو الصحابي. فراوي هذا الحديث جابر رضي الله عنه. هل أحد منكم هل آخر يستطيع أن يذكر هذا الحديث؟
نعم.
سوى الأخ كوثر؟ لا بأس. So it's important everyone should try and memorize the hadiths as we're going along. Okay. Okay, someone give me a sentence with a la in it, so a prohibitive command, and with a fa'inna in it. Who can give me a sentence? So you know how the same structure of similar to the hadith. So you have a la and the command, and then you give an explanation starting from fa'inna. Who can make a sentence for me? Anyone think about it? I'll give you guys a minute to think about it. Once you thought about it, let me know. Any sentence. Can anyone think of anything?
لا تقولوا بالدرس.
Sorry, just say that again. Your mic. I'm struggling to understand the mic. Could you say it one more time?
لا تقولوا بالدرس.
You need a fa'inna in there.
إنه. That's the way I got stuck. Couldn't think of the word to add. Fine. I'm gonna say I can't think of a word. There is a word, I just can't think of it at the moment. إنه درس.
Think about the English sentence. There's so many things you can say. Don't eat because it is salah time. Don't read. The teacher is teaching. Or don't eat because you are in class.
تجلسوا في البيت فإن بعيد.
لا تجلسوا في البيت فإن. What was the last thing you said?
بعيد. Cold is what I was trying to say.
Okay, yeah. So you'll use a pronoun there. فإنه باردٌ. Yeah, that's fine. So don't sit in the house because it is cold. Yep. فإنه though. فإنه because it is cold. Okay, good. One person. Another person?
لا تأكل الطعام فإن صائم.
Okay, mashallah. لا تأكل الطعام. فإني. Did you say فإني?
Well, I said فإنك.
Actually, no, sorry.
فإنك.
Yeah. Because it's going to a person, isn't it? Yeah,
لا تأكل الطعام فإنك صائم.
Yeah, good. لا تأكل الطعام فإنك صائم. Don't eat because you're fasting. Anyone else? Last chance. Okay. So there's a million things you can say. So you can say لا تقرأ الكتاب فإنك في الدرس. Don't read the book because you are in the lesson. لا تأكل الآن. Don't eat now. فإنه وقت الصلاة. Because it is the time of salah. لا تكتب بالقلم الأحمر فإن المدرس يكتب بالقلم الأحمر. Don't write with a red pen because the teacher writes with a red pen. Yeah, so generally at this stage, we should be very fluent in making sentences. We should be able to say anything. Just like how we can make, a million sentences like this in English, our Arabic needs to be on that same level. Or not same level, but working towards that, inshallah. Okay. Is that okay? Should we move on to the next lesson?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay, well, let me